What is going on, everyone? This is Rake, and I'm here with a quick video today about the War Z yet again. And now I wanted to talk about weapon spawning. I think a lot of people have been asking about this, and I've gathered information from the forums, some dev posts, some people's posts, some speculation, all that kind of stuff. So, this is about as factual as I can try and make it for you guys. Basically, the biggest thing to note is that it's all random, and that's what it's going to come down to. Just like in pretty much any game where you're relying on good loot drops, it's really just coming down to the randomness of it all. So how does weapon spawning work? Essentially, there are two types of nodes. You got military and civilian, and those two types have further types within them, such as like melee weapon, gun, food, gear, miscellaneous. Obviously, the military node doesn't really have food, other than maybe the bag MRE, but civilian will have roles for food. And essentially, what it is, those spawn points, those nodes, loot nodes, if you will, they're going to be rolling to every 15 minutes or so to determine what type of item they spawn, and higher roll yields rarer items. And this roll depends on people in the immediate area. So if there's, I think the limit is up to 6, maybe 8 people in the area, in the immediate area of that spawn node, then it's going to automatically give a higher roll, higher chance for a higher roll to spawn a rare item. So what kind of nodes you're looking at, like I said, are the civilian and the military, but what does that mean exactly? Well, if you're looking for civilian nodes, which are more common, obviously, then you're going to have civilian weapons like common handguns. I think the Jericho falls in there, maybe the B92. Common assault rifles like the M4 Semi or the M16. Of course, the Mossberg, which you see everywhere. And even there might be a sniper that is technically a civilian node. Like, I think you can find a sniper in certain barns, maybe. Then the military weapons that you're looking for, of course, are the rare assault rifles and SMGs like the SCAR or the MP5s. Now, those are very rare, but there are other military weapons, obviously, like the Honey Badger. Then you also have like rare snipers like the VSS. Good military gear would include like the M9 helmet and body armor, and that is also spawning on the military node, so that's going to be competing with those rare assault rifles. And body armor is probably a pretty high roll, so that kind of thing is going to spawn not that often, but it's still going to be even more often than something like the SCAR. And then you'll have also good military miscellaneous weapon or miscellaneous things, miscellaneous nodes, and then you'll get like your attachments, your rare attachments, and grenades and ammo too. So where's the best place to search for this type of gear? Particularly decent civilian weapons, as they're going to be the most common. They're going to really be what you're looking for. So this is a nice little interactive map here, and I just turned on some loot points, and you can take a look. I'll put this website in the description, and you can see these loot points. Basically, this attempts to map out all the different loot points in the current map, and you can look at, I believe red is a military node, and green is civilian. It might be slightly different. It might have more to do with the yield of that particular loot node. So for instance, in Camp Splinter you see a lot of red. That's probably because it's all military there, and the yield can get pretty high if you have a lot of people in that area. And that's kind of the thing that you're going to be looking for. Now these locations aren't set in stone. These are arguably where the loot nodes are in the game. I'm sure whoever created this map did a pretty nice job with it. And we can turn on other things like police cars. That's going to give you pretty common civilian drops, definitely check the police cars. And then police departments, that's also pretty common. So let's talk about best places to search for the gear, like I was saying. But actually, I'll name a few places. So for civilian gear, you want to look at supermarkets, police stations, garages can be good. They get ammo in there. Police cars, like I said and highlighted on the map. Even civilian cars can often have pistols in them. Then you got barns, which they get shotguns. Even I think the civilian sniper can spawn in there. For military stuff, it can be even more common than you think. Just Humvees in the road can spawn that have military nodes. So other military vehicles too, like downed helicopters. So we can turn. There's actually a downed helicopter crash site here you can turn on, so you can see there's one up near the Loco Mountain campsite. There's one in NORAD military base, and there's one in Boulder City too. So the downed helicopters can have very good loot. Other military buildings, like in the compounds or the airport, they look a little different than other buildings. They often have an upstairs you can go on. Those are technically military buildings and will often have military spawns. And then there's military tents. Those are mostly located in the compounds themselves. I just wanted to highlight those locations because they're going to have the highest loot chances. But really, you can find guns anywhere. It is all random, but the chance is going to be higher if you go to those places I listed. Certain nodes just have inherently higher rolls, like the police cars and behind the police station and things like that. And if you have people in the area, then you're going to get a higher chance of finding something good. And one quick trick that I've noticed that you should probably keep in mind for when you're going into a high population server and you're going into the highly contested areas like Campos, Clearview, NORAD, Echo Compound, and all those places. If you hear a very loud steel door slamming, followed by a kind of eerie noise that sounds like your ear just popped or something, then that actually means that there is a player nearby or a player has been nearby recently. And to be honest, that is not confirmed by the devs, but I've read about it a few times, and honestly, every time I hear that noise, I see someone very shortly after. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's basically fact. So if you start hearing that noise a lot, for instance, I was in Clearview earlier today in a very high pop server, and I heard that thing like every few seconds, and wouldn't you know, I went and found 2 M16s in different spots in the town, so pretty lucky. Anyway, that about does it for me, guys, so hope that was helpful, and good luck in finding your spawns. Peace.